Today, we've got the Anbernic RG40XX H. Look at those LED lights. And we got the instruction manual here. We got the box. And what you'll notice on first look is it's got a lot of buttons. Got the RGB, 4-inch screen. It's got those nice crunchy top loader buttons, and then we got the volume, power. You even have HDMI out if you want to throw it on a monitor like this. Just HDMI straight out, you're good to go. It even has Bluetooth, although you need a dongle for an Xbox controller, Xbox One controller like this. But technically, if you have a Bluetooth controller, you can use an external controller, external monitor, or use it all internally, put it in your pocket. All kinds of options for you on this device. And at a sub $100 device, I think you're gonna wanna see this one. Okay, a couple things about the device. You got select and start. You got the menu button. Really like this. This is really easy for people to access, all kind of customization there. You do have the dual speakers underneath. You got the left and the right. You also have a headphone jack and 2 micro SD card slots. That one on the left, this is 64 gigabyte. You can add your own as well, and you can easily just eject that with your fingernail and put it into a computer and transfer ROMs, all kinds of fun stuff. The D-pad, some people don't like it as much as like the 350 or some of these other models out there, but it's good. The RGB, that, you know, some people love it, some people hate it. The 4-inch screen though is really the winner here. They're making it easier and easier. I remember when these devices first came out, they were really complicated to use. They're just so plug and play now. It's
pretty darn cool. All right, so here we are. We have the main screen here. You can have sound, you can have a little dripping of the sounds. And that's just me moving around. Settings really quick is where you go to change your lock screen, or, you know, how fast you want it to time out. You could change the backlight, you know, different brightnesses. I have it on the brightest right now. It was on 4 to start with. The second highest. LED settings is where you're going to go to check out those LED modes, and you can just turn them off like that, and now you have no LEDs whatsoever. You can turn it back on. I like this mode the best, where like wherever I press the D-pad it turns pink, and it's kind of fun. Like when you're playing games and stuff, you can see what you're actually doing. I don't know, maybe it's more of a distraction than anything, but you can go over here to modes, and you just have so many different modes here. You have breathe, light, fast is going to breathe. And then you might be wondering, why is it only breathing green? We got to go back, and then you got to go over here to colors, and I think you got, yeah, it's on green right now, so you got to like add in some blue if you wanted to change blue. I wonder if that triggers, yeah, the triggers make it jump even faster, which makes sense. And now it's like an aqua color. Let's add in a little red, and now it's basically white. You could do all kinds of stuff with that. That's kind of cool, right? If you're into that kind of stuff. Breathing light, medium. It looks like it defaults back to green, but it's just a slower breathing, and then even slow. Chasing light is the one I really liked. It chases light. And again, I believe, yeah, there you go. You can change the colors again, you know, to what you want the background color to be, like blue. So if we didn't want blue and we want it to be like red. So remember, it chases in pink, right? So let's go ahead and bump this up. Then we got green with pink and orange. It's kind of an interesting color. I don't know if you can see. There you go. It's kind of an interesting color. Okay, having way too much messing around with this. But rainbow, oh my God, party. Okay, that's wild. Okay, and then you got there's the rainbow, nice and slow. Pretty much every PC built in the last 5 years. There you go. Be just like them. But for the rest of this video, I'll just go ahead and put it on the double stick chasing with my green and red, although I don't really like my custom color I made. You can change the date and time. You can even change your retro arch settings, like your shaders, your controls, things like that, network settings. This thing just has a lot. The OS is great right out of the box. There is third-party things you can download, but no need to do that. All right, here you go, your game room. So we got PSP, PS1, Nintendo DS, Nintendo 64, Thomas Wave, Dreamcast. You got CPS systems 1, 2, and 3. Those are those Capcom arcade games. Final Burn Neo, which is Neo Geo. Family Computer System, which is going to be your NES. Game Boy, Game Boy Advance. It's funny how like some of these systems are sideways and then some are vertical. It's kind of weird. I mean, I guess that makes sense because it would get to see more of it. The system can be bigger from a stretching standpoint. You got Sega Genesis, you got Game & Watch, Neo Geo Pocket Color, PC Engine, Pico, you got Sega Master System, 32X, even Virtual Boy's on here. You even have some ports on here as well. Grand Theft Auto 3, got some Quake ports, Wolfenstein 3D, and there you go. A lot of different ports.
Dang, bro. All right, well, I'm actually recording a video right now.
On the Anbernic?
Yeah.
Dang.
And this is the part of the video where I call you, and then I ask you what you want me to. I got the micro SD card in the computer right now, bro. Do you know that 64 gig card only gives you 44 gigs?
I saw that. That's what I was really. How much free space is left? That was what I was going to ask.
7.8 gigs
So that's a good amount of games.
that you can still add. Yeah, I know, but it looks like it has complete sets for like Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance. So like, it has all the Pokemon games. Like, what games exactly did you want? Like, Nintendo 64, it's really light. Did you want a bunch of Nintendo 64?
I was thinking I get PlayStation 1 games because it runs really well on the Anbernic.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of really good stuff, but I don't know if you saw the PlayStation 1 is pretty weak. The library.
Yeah. Well, I have the on my other. I have two screens up right now. I have the 12 terabyte drive. To give you an idea, the PlayStation collection, just all the PlayStation's games is 470 gigabytes.
Yeah, I'd have to pick and choose.
So yeah, I ended up giving him a bunch of games. We did PS1, we did Dreamcast, and we did Nintendo 64 because those are a little bit more advanced systems. You can't put a lot of those games unless you add he could have added another SD card, a micro SD, but I mean, he's going on an airplane. He just wanted, about 12 hours of the content. How many games can you really play? But if you are trying to build something a little bit more massive, you can easily add like 128 gigabyte or 256 gigabyte and just put hundreds on top of hundreds more games on this thing. But I'm just showing you here how easy it is to drag and drop. If you don't have a hard drive like mine, which these Kinhank hard drives are pretty cool for exactly this reason, but you could just go on the internet, Google the ROMs you need, and just make sure they're the same file format, whether they're a .iso or they're a .zip or whatever else. That'll just confirm that they'll run on the setup that you currently have. You won't have to do any other adjustments. So there you go. Drag and drop and build out your library.
Oh. Okay, there's the button. So here it is, the latest Anbernic, fully loaded with games. Although it might not have most of your games, I will show you how to add games in this video. It's fairly easy. And loving the 4-inch screen. The RGB doesn't bother me so much, and if it does, you just turn it off. It's very easy to do. A quick menu button here, LED setting here, and then off. Boom, boom. Now you're done. It makes just a nice little accent on there. Very pocketable, great, all the great things all around. And as far as performance, it will play all these systems on here now. PlayStation 1 without any lag whatsoever. N64, depending on the game, and if it's starting, these things do get warm. You're going to start getting that in the N64. N64 has always been kind of a harder system to emulate, and then towards the upper end of PSP. But PS1, for the most part, most of the catalog are good. Atomus Wave, I was surprised, it was working really good. Dreamcast, it'll play most of the catalog. All this stuff is going to play just fine. Neo Geo, just fine. All this stuff, great. All that stuff. So, pretty cool. A lot of games. If that's what you're into, this thing is beautiful. So here we have Super Mario 64. Loving that 4-inch screen. A lot of people get on me for playing GP50, so let's just keep them. Let's keep them annoyed here. I'll play Bowser, though. How about that? I mean, he's slow. At first. And no lag. It's running really good. Honestly, this looks amazing. And the price of a Nintendo 64 and this game, what is it? Is it A? I think it's A. Nope, it's B. So we got the D-pad. Oh. Yeah, you can kind of... You can move it just pressing down, so you got to be careful. All right, so what do I think about this device? I think the low point is probably the D-pad, although not a huge deal. That's probably the low point for me on this thing. The high points are great price point, 4-inch screen. I really like that it does HDMI out, and it has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. I mean, that is just such an underrated feature. The fact that you can add an external controller, you can add a second player, you can then put it on a big screen, for kind of like a Nintendo Switch, right? You go on the go or you play at home. Really easy to use UI. It comes pre-installed with tons of games, very pocketable. Great. Oh, the one other downside I would say is the charging. You have to charge this thing with like a 5-volt charging adapter, like some small brick, like a little old phone charger you have. It does not like new chargers, like your Samsung chargers or Apple chargers. Not going to like that whatsoever. It might not even work. Mine did not work. Oh, the other thing I really like about this is the menu button, that you can get into RetroArch, you can exit a game, you can do all kinds of things very simply with one button. You don't have to go out and find it. And so for a lot of newbies out there, they're going to really like that. So in conclusion, if you're looking for a sub $100 handheld and a big screen is important to you, look no further. This thing it's amazing. It's great. It's very good. A lot of people out there though wanting PS2 or Dreamcast, or not Dreamcast, but GameCube. You will need like a cube. They make an Anbernic cube, or like a Retroid Pocket 3, or something a little bit more powerful, more closer to the $150 range or more, to get that kind of horsepower. So in this price point with this type of performance, this is up there in the top 5, no problem. That is just it is a good contender there. So that's what I really like, especially if you're new to retro, you're new to handhelds. This device could be good. If you already have a bunch of devices at home, you're playing with another device, is it worth the upgrade? No, probably not. If you're looking for a new device, this thing is a great one to start or get for a friend, and the prices keep dropping, so it is an incredible budget-friendly device for you. But anyways, that's what I think. Let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.